Hey, Mr. Steve. Mr. Ranch 55. Got your power wires here in. Using these style strain relief connectors here, because I only had 3 of the normal strain release I like to use. I jumped up on eBay there to my dealer that I use for my strain release and purchased me 50 more of them bad boys. But these right here work just fine. Get that hole right there plugged for you. And I don't know who put that hole right there. I don't know if it was you or what. Maybe you're going to use it to bring some wires in for a fan. I don't know. I will plug that up for you too. But we got the not so well working DEIs out of this particular box here for you. And these 2 feedback resistors had gotten pretty hot on this 2-pill section right here. So we're going to be putting 2 new ones on there for you. And went ahead and replaced your output combiner with a brand new output combiner for you right there. And yep, there's the beads, man. We're about to drop these fresh brand new non-dot 2879 Toshiba. I tell you what, man, seeing non-dots brand new in a bag like that looks better than gold. I love the way these things look brand new, man. Oh, me. I'd like to be holding up a bag with about 1,000 of them. Alright, man. We're going to go ahead and go on and get the rest of this bad boy done here, man, and make sure everything's good. I'm hoping you don't have a short somewhere, man, because the symptoms it was showing was a possibility. I did find one of the transistors had solder touching the base to the heat sink, and I mean, it was on there good, man. If these transistors are still that, never took out, which it didn't look like they were, it was done by the factory, which was quite weird. You wouldn't think it would have worked at all, but I believe you did say something about keying it up the first time when you got it and started having these issues. So I don't know. We'll be back, man. Alright, Mr. Ranch 55, we got your Texas Star 500V right here all sewed up and ready to go. Basically, this was a newer style Texas Star 500. It had 4 DEI transistors in it, and the fellow was having some problems blowing the resistor on this output combiner back here, and some keying issues. And I noticed that the 2 feedback resistors, which are using 50 ohm 2-watt resistors now with the DEIs, were real dark, and these were semi-dark as well. I've got the parts right there that came out minus the DEIs. So I went ahead and just put back in there what would be in there on the, on a normal style 500. The 5-watt, those are 30 ohms right there. And so he purchased 4 matching non-dot Toshibas from RF Parts. So I went ahead and threw these in here for you, bud. And you wanted the full-blown power wire upgrade. So we got you two thick 8-gauge powers, 2 thick 8-gauge on the ground there. Got them all installed for you. And I think what your problem was, and also I went ahead and took these little, I don't know what gauge that is. I need to look. I keep forgetting. I think it's something like 22 gauge. And the flash just went off. It's hot out here, man. Once this phone heats up, that flash will turn off. But so went in and took the power chokes right here, delivering the DC to the back of the transformers, going to the collector. We got you 2 good stiff 12-gauge wires right there going now. Got you one right there and one right there. Okay. Another thing I noticed on a lot of these newer 500s, they don't have any 330s going to collector to ground. That's something with the DEIs they're doing there. So I went ahead and added you 4 new 330s there, the way it would be on a normal 500. But I think what your problem was, man, is on one of the transistors, I can't remember if it was this section or this section, there was literally solder that was connected from the base to the heat sink of the transistor. And I think you might have said that you keyed it up right when you got it and was having those problems, but that's about the only thing I could find, man. There's no issues now, there's no shorts or nothing, but that was shorting pretty much to ground there. So that's about the only thing I could see that was causing that issue, man. Because I know you said you already replaced the combiner once and it just blew again, you know. And I went ahead and also replaced this 10 microhenry choke back here. To me, it looked a little discolored. I replaced that just to be safe. All right, man, we're going to go ahead and show you what this thing's doing. We're just going to run it on the regulated servo supply over there first with a 4-watt radio on 14.7 volts. Then we'll ease over to the 100 amp unregulated supply, and we'll do a little burping too, man, see what this thing can really do. Got the 20 ohm variable on here, man. We're just going to leave it all the way up. All right. 4-watt RMS. Stock Cobra 29. $1,000-watt slug RMS. Oh yeah. Sometimes I have a problem. This thing. There we go. Oh, right there, almost about 80, almost 100 watts. RMS. We'll take a look at the peak real quick. Oh yeah. It's about 360 watts or so. Okay. I do have the green button in. I'll let you take a look at the input reflect real quick. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Input reflect looks great. I don't know, my camera thing might be a little dirty. Excuse me for a second. Got the infamous 073 over here working over here, man. I think he about burned his hand over there, but he's alright. Got a little Alex Jones from InfoWars in the background too. We just hanging out, getting it done over here in the northeast end of Georgia. Alright, I clean my. There we go. Oh yeah. Alrighty, we'll flip it over to high real quick, which you can run this box with that button depressed just fine. You won't be swinging backwards. No, that bumps you a little over 400 PEP. Oh, about 160 RMS. Okay, that's with 4 watts driving it on 14.7 volts. All right, this is a high drive amp, so we're going to put a little bit more drive in it. We're going to even hook that little driver up there real quick. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and bump on over to the 100 amp unreg supply. Give this joker some juice. Let's see what she can do, man. Be right back. Alrighty, we got it on the unregulated supply. We're floating at 18 volts even. If I had to run this particular amp on an unregulated supply, this is about the perfect matchup for it, because you're going to see it's going to drop to about 14.5 volts, which is actually less voltage than we were running right there. And then you ask yourself though, well, why is it doing a little bit more power? Well, that's the differences of the two supplies there. This is what you call a linear supply right here, man. I mean, it's you're getting the power directly from the flux field of the damn transformer. This is a switcher type power supply, and the supplies it's delivered a little differently. Not saying all switchers that way, but I have noticed that you get a little bit more power out of that than powering something with that. It just is what it is. Alright, go ahead and turn this bad boy on. We're still on the 4-watt radio. We hadn't went to the hot radio yet. Alright, 1,000-watt slug RMS. Come on, man. See, some more power. 180. Take a look at the drop. 14.4. So we're getting more power with less voltage. That's the difference of a linear supply, man. Let's take a look at the peak now. Yeah. Yeah, right there about 580, getting close to 600 watts. So we're already getting above the 500, hitting with a 4-watt radio. All right, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and switch over to the hot radio. And then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and hook up a driver. So I'll be back. Alrighty, we got the hot radio hooked up now. So we have doubled our input drive from 4 watts RMS to 8 watts RMS. That's about 20 watts peak over to 40 watts peak or so now, okay? Me personally, this is where I would run this amp at myself, just so it'll last, but we're going to burp it after that on a driver. Alright, we're still on the medium tap. We ain't putting it on the hot tap yet or nothing. 1000 watt slug. Oh, well, we'll turn the amp on, y'all. I'm real good at doing that. Oh, yeah. Almost 300 watts RMS. Oh, yeah. Peak ain't gonna change much, probably. Oh, yeah, it did. About 700 watts. All right. Watch this. I'm just gonna flip it over to the high tap now. And do a quick burp on the high tap. No, 300 watts RMS. 15.6 volts. A little hot, not too bad. All right. Let's see if we can't get 400 bird out of this thing, man. Usually I can make them do it. And no, I don't say run it at that by no means, but we're just gonna see if this thing's producing the power it's supposed to with these brand new Toshibas. I'll be back. Alrighty, here we go. Got the epoxy 1 pill here. When it was first built, it was built with 80% epoxy, 20% solder. And I'm gonna keep this box right here till I leave this earth, till God takes me home. Well, anyway, I could add a fan or something to it, make it at least look presentable, couldn't I? Like a cobbler. And I'm like a cobbler, but my family doesn't have shoes. You don't know what a cobbler is? I watched that movie while I was on vacation. That's the only reason I know what it is.
He's cobbing now.
I'm cobbing it. I'm just cobbing it. All right. Let's see what this driver's doing. RMS. Oh, looks like it's doing about 40, 50. Peak. Oh, just a tad bit over 100 watts PEP. All right. Let's see what this thing's gonna do, fellas and females, if you're watching. Hot tap, high tap. Ooh, God almighty. That cotton picker's hitting 500 bird, dude.
Good.
Look at this, look. Ooh. Damn. Woo! See what it's dropping to. It's dropping to 14 volts, man. This mother trucker right here is smoking, man. I ain't never seen no 500 drop that damn supply that low. It's dropping to 14 volts. Let's take a look at the peak. In the corner. All right, I'm gonna calm down. I gotta go, y'all. I'm gonna go calm down. I gotta go walk around the yard, man. Go.